For today's meditation, I had something planned that was like, I don't know if intense is the right word, but very structured. And I'm just resisting it so much. It just feels too structured. And so today for our or for our meditation practice, we're going to do mindfulness um, on the breath without needing to change it too much. Like as we go, I'll give you some different cues to focus on if you want. But if you want to do your own thing, you can ignore me. I was thinking about it last night, like the movie Superstar, and how she talks about how there's two different people. There's the people who like walk into the pool very slowly, and then there's the people who jump into the pool. And I was thinking about how this is like swimming. Like at first you have to walk into the pool because you need to learn to swim. But then after you know how to swim, you have the choice. Like depending on how you feel, you show up at a pool and you might be like, have the right context to be like, I'm jumping in, going off the diving board, just like straight to the bottom. And other times you might be like, I need to go in more slowly. I have found that the more I sit in meditation, the more those feelings will happen. I'll sit in, and sometimes I have to go really slowly through the layers and acknowledge everything that's happening in my space so I feel ready to go inside. And other times I sit down and close my eyes and it's like I'm there. So especially as you show up and sit more, if you're there, you can like, sometimes it's helpful to even unplug from the narrative. Like I'll often listen to guided meditations just to give me a context. And then I just totally turn off the receiving sound. It just becomes another noise and I'm in my own meditation. So no, you always have freedom to do that. Let's try taking our comfortable seat. Not sitting up with so much rigidity that you've lost your softness and not relaxing so much you're in a ball. Beginning to stick your toe in the pool, just noticing how you're feeling. What are you working with today in this moment? Reminding yourself whatever is coming up, whatever is showing up, that doesn't need to change. At least not in these 15 minutes, but we can hold space for whatever is here for 15 minutes. And begin to bring your awareness to the sounds you hear. And the mind will probably start labeling the sounds pretty quickly. Maybe animals you can hear, cars. Maybe the sound of something in your own house. And in your own body, can you hear your breath? Can you hear your heartbeat? Not straining too much. And then can you let all of these sounds just blend into the landscape of sound that's arising in the moment? Seeing if you can just be present for this orchestra of music that's unfolding. So the sounds are just happening and you're just noticing them. You might notice some other internal sounds pop up, the sounds of the thoughts of the thinking mind. And can you allow these thoughts to also just happen? You don't need to stop them from happening. They're just arising like the birds and the cars or your breath. And feeling this happening, feeling your presence. Nothing to figure out, nothing to do right. And begin to bring your awareness to your out breath, the breath of relaxation. Not changing your breath, just begin to pay closer attention to it as the breath falls out. Letting yourself be interested in what's going on. It's the interest that keeps you present. How does it feel when you let the breath fall out of your mouth, fall out of your nose, whatever you're choosing? Really feeling into that experience of the breath falling out. Or do you feel it in your body? Can you let it feel like it's softening the brain? If you feel any tightness in your body, imagine that the exhale can bring space to its softening. Maybe even holding that part of your body in your mind's eye. And as you let the breath fall out and feel the softening, visualize that particular part of your body melting. Begin to shift the breath, the awareness to the inhalation. And instead of sucking the air in, can you allow the breath to fall in? Not making the breath be anything that it's not. Letting the breath dance for you. It's like a child. And when you give the child the attention, it's like, watch all the things I can do when you let me be me. Watch your breath, your lungs dance. When thoughts arise, which they're bound to do because the mind is a tool that thinks, notice them, let them fade into the tapestry of sound, and come back to experiencing the breath falling into you. Watching the inhalations and exhalations dance within yourself. See if you can allow the breath to be more expansive. So it doesn't need to become bigger if a bigger breath makes you contract. Let's see if it can be a more full body breath. So can you feel the breath Expand to your skin. Feel it on your skin. Feel it in your toes and your head. See if you can make the breath move to different places, maybe your low back or your heart. And if at any time your thoughts feel too distracting or you feel like you want another tool to use, you can use the mantra Sat Nam, inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam, allowing the mind to be anchored on something happening in the moment. So you can have curiosity and attention. Perhaps adding on the visualization and a direction with your breaths. Perhaps maybe inhaling from the tailbone to the top of the head. Maybe you imagine a lotus blooming on the top of your head. And as you exhale from the top of the head back down to the earth. Waking up the energy of the core, the Sushumna. If it feels right to you, imagine that you can plant your intention inside your center channel. Mine is going to be more patience with my kids and the other relationships I have, to create more space between the action and my reaction. Whatever your intention is, imagine maybe it's a word or an image or a feeling. See if you can bring it into your center channel with your breath and feel it maybe vibrating, imprinting, growing stronger. Let your breath help nourish your intention. If it feels right, you could add a little bit of movement to your spine. If it feels more appropriate to be in stillness, do that. Practice listening and responding. More space between listening and responding so you don't decide too quickly. And you can change your mind if you move and you're like, it felt better to stop. Trust your felt instinct, intuition. If your movement is big, make it a little bit smaller. If you have a small undulation or stillness in the spine, begin to watch the breath if you lost it. The breath is really fascinating because it can feel like an involuntary or a voluntary action. I'm choosing to breathe. But the truth is that it's involuntary because when we sleep, we breathe. When we're distracted, we still breathe. Holding reverence for the breath, always with us. Something we can participate with, dance with, but something that will also always be working for us. Bring your left hand onto your heart and your right fingertips on the floor in a comfortable position. From your fingertips, feel the earth rising up to meet your hand, rising up to meet your hips. Feel the earth rising up your spine to the top of your head. Maybe imagine a lotus flower on top. Feeling the stability and the structure and the abundance that Mother Earth provides. And then underneath your hand on your heart, feel the vastness of your heart. Lifting the chest up towards your hands, expanding through the chest. Feel the love and the light that you are radiate out past your physical form, maybe out past your house, out past your state, out past the country. Feeling this expansiveness of you that's supported by the earth. And drop both hands to your heart. And thanking yourself for showing up and participating in life. Not all the time, that would be unrealistic expectations, but often, consistently. And thanks for being here. Namaste.